An astonishing season. So this is what the road to Dublin looks like. So for West Ham there, as you can see in the first leg, confirmation there of that 2-0 defeat against Leverkusen. The other games you can see on screen here are latest scores. They're not quite at the full-time whistle yet, but the same side of the draw as West Ham. Roma, who knocked Brighton out in the round of 16, are leading AC Milan by 1-0 away from home. And on Liverpool's side of the draw, Benfica leading Marseille by 2-1. Now, there is plenty more action to come for you this week on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus, including a massive night in Las Vegas. On twice at Anfield. Those two teams before tonight were Barcelona and Real Madrid. Atalanta, the first Italian team to do so. So you can understand those celebrations, Rachel.
It's pretty good company to be in, isn't it, Atalanta? And they 100% fully deserved it. They outplayed Liverpool, whether you look at the stats, the shots on goals. But they just looked like they wanted it more. The urgency, the style of play was incisive. And when they had the chances, they made it look so simple in converting them.
What happened, Crouchy?
I think sometimes when you rest players and you've got a lot of your key players on the bench, I think sometimes your mentality just shifts. It's like, are we taking this seriously? And I think you just come off the gas 2, 3, 4, 5% and you get punished at this level. I think Atalanta came with a game plan. I didn't realise quite the size of some of the players. The physicality was very good.
That's coming from you.
That is, yeah. That is. Listen, I'm tall, but I'm not as big as some of these lads out here today. I thought they were fantastic. The game plan worked to an absolute treat. I think they pressed them, they harried them, they were winning their ball back. I think Harvey Elliott, a couple of people gave the ball away. They had chances early on, and it just didn't stop. They were relentless in their play. Second half, they then dominated. They had the better possession. They took the chances when it counted. So Liverpool, although very disappointing, I thought Atalanta were fantastic.
Yeah, they really were. That's the thoughts of these guys for now. What does the Liverpool captain think? Virgil van Dijk talking to Becky Ives.
Virgil, what happened out there tonight?
Defeat. Obviously, it's half time, but 3-0 down is it's not great, and very disappointing evening, of course. And I think too many individual mistakes, and we got punished for it. And yeah, this feels bad.
Why was it so hard to find a rhythm and a consistency in the play tonight?
Well, I think obviously with the man-marking system they do, and we have to do much better. And when we have the ball, we have to keep the ball a bit longer and stronger. And obviously they won those 50-50 challenges most of the time. And then the spaces were open. And they punished us immediately with that. And yeah, that's what happened. It's a very disappointing night for all of us. And but we can't dwell on it too long, because obviously in 2 days we play again, a very big game here. We need everyone to be looking forward to that, but this definitely will hurt tonight, and from tomorrow on we have to switch it back on to getting results.
As a defensive unit tonight, do you feel the goals that you conceded were too easy?
Well, of course, we wide open, but it's more that we conceded the goals because we lost the balls in difficult moments, and that's why we're wide open. And it's a collective thing in the end, and we have to do all much better. And we all know it. It hurts, like I said, and but it can't put us down, and we have to react pretty quickly.
Is it a shock that sort of happened out there tonight for you?
No, it hurts. Of course, we didn't lose here for a long time, and but credit to them. We shouldn't take the credit from them away, and they punished us for being sloppy, especially in possession, and obviously we still had chances to do it, to score at least 1 or 2, and unfortunately we didn't.
I appreciate you got Premier League game next, but then you will go back out to their place where you did beat them 5-0 back in 2020. Can you lean into that at all? Take belief?
Well, if you don't have belief, then there's no point going to Italy, and obviously we make it very hard for ourselves going there with 3-0 down. But I just said we focus on Crystal Palace. We have to bounce back, and the only way to do it is obviously winning that game on the weekend. And like I said, we need everyone. We need everyone to quickly switch it back on.
The first one in the first half came from Scamacca, Rachel. What goes wrong here?
Well, it was the left-hand side this time of Liverpool where there was acres of space, and it's just the most simple of cutbacks and a one-touch finish, which was excellent. But, you know, there's no one shooting out Tsimikas to press and stop the cross into the box. And then it's just a simple training exercise. But Kelleher should have done better. He should have saved that. He'll be really disappointed with that. But it's about stopping. You know, of course, the ultimate blame of that goal lays with the goalkeeper, but it could have been prevented at so many different areas.
Yeah, when you talk about the spaces that Virgil van Dijk pointed out, did we see evidence of that, particularly with the second goal?
Yeah, without doubt. I mean, you know, some of the gaps. I mean, he comes down there, Liverpool's left-hand side. You know, it's an absolute acres, and you just think he's offside. I mean, the calmness of the finish, the coolness of the finish. But you look at Gomez here; he actually steps up. He's 2 or 3 yards in front of the centre halves, and then he steps up.
As the opposite fullback, you've got to take your line, and you can see everything. You've got to take your line off of your deepest defender, and he's miles away from that, and that's where Scamacca takes his line from, and that's why he remains onside. From the far side, from the opposite side, Joe Gomez has to get across and mark his player. So he's got to mark Scamacca, or he's got to make Konate open up and realise he's got Scamacca on his back shoulder. He does neither.
Huge defensive error there, but you have to hand it to Scamacca. Yeah. The calmness of finish, you know, to take that on the half volley on your left foot and just place it the way he did, it was a beautiful finish.
Yeah. What about the third goal then? Because this potentially could be tie over, getting that third goal. It's Pasalic that scores it. Sloppy in midfield, losing the ball here, Szoboszlai. But after that, Liverpool don't recover, Rachel.
No, they don't. And again, you see Joe Gomez. Szoboszlai's trying to recover because it's his man who's got by. But we look again, when we freeze this back, Joe Gomez, and I feel like I'm hammering him, but Scamacca hung out on that left hand, on there Liverpool's right hand side all night because he knew he was getting joy. See Joe Gomez tracking back again. He's not in line with his deepest play. Could Van Dijk have held the line? Possibly. Joe Gomez breaks his stride. He's busting the gut to a point, and you see his body's up right there. That's when he slowed down. And if he'd have continued full pelt, he would have got the first tackle and made the recovery challenge. Szoboszlai has to stay with his player. He can't hold up. And it just looks so pedestrian at the back. Yeah,
Szoboszlai and Gomez, what's happened there? I think they're just anticipating the shot or him to play out to the right-hand side. Scamacca, great disguise on the pass. It was a beautiful pass inside. They've slowed down, just expecting him to shoot, and he's in absolute acres.
Do you know, when Van Dijk and the back line analyse it, the goalkeeper as well, tonight or tomorrow, they will be shocked with how open it was, because you know how it feels at the time. You don't get a full clear picture. It feels a certain way, it feels bad. They'll look at that, and that is basics that they'll be a little bit ashamed of.
And from a Liverpool perspective, in terms of going forward and attacking, we did so much analysis on them before the game about wasted opportunities, but this is actually only the second time this season that they failed to score a goal in a game. What was the problem tonight, Crouchy?
Well, that's the one for me. I think Núñez, he just needs to open his body out or go around the goalkeeper. He's tried that one at Brentford, you know, where he's the beautiful finish at Brentford, but you know, it's just percentage football. You've got to do however that gets the ball into the back of the net. Thought this one was unlucky from Salah. They had chances, but having said that, Atalanta probably had the more cutting-edge chances, I'd say. I thought Liverpool huffed and puffed, and that they created some, as you'd expect, with the substitutions, but still felt Atalanta had the better of the chances.
This is the offside one, isn't it? Mo Salah just drifts just a fraction of an inch offside. It'd been interesting if Núñez had converted what looked like a pretty simple one-on-one in the first half. Could the game have been different? But you know, another missed chance.
You look at those chances there, and although they had a couple throughout the game, how did Atalanta actually restrict Liverpool to so many clear-cut chances?
Well, as Van Dijk said, they man-to-man marked throughout the game. Endo was kind of out of the game from an in-possession point of view. They ensured that the Liverpool couldn't play through Endo as much as they would have liked to. And anything that was played into midfield to McAllister or to Gakpo, their first touch was affected by how close they were from a defensive point of view. So both in and out possession, Atalanta were the better team tonight.
OK, well, we have...
I appreciate it's fairly close to the final whistle, but have you gathered thoughts on what you saw out there tonight?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's nothing really positive to say about the game. I mean, the start was good and unlucky with Harvey's crossbar, maybe. That period would be 100% deserved if you go 1-0 up with Darwin's chance. We had other good moments, so that was really good. But from a specific moment on, and I don't know exactly a minute, but it became it was really a bad game. There's nothing positive to say about that. I didn't like our tactical discipline in possession. We were everywhere, which means then nowhere. No counter press. We played in their hands. We had we gave them constantly 1-1 situation. Obviously, they wanted 1-1 situation. We passed the ball there, and everybody was like chasing our guy when he's running with the ball somewhere. I think how it could have worked, we saw with the goal we scored, which was disallowed for offside, but that was then finally an underlap. Robbo arrives there, passes the ball in the center, and we can score. So that we should have had these kind of situations much more often. But again, it was a bad game from us, and Atalanta played a good game, scored 3 goals, and deserved obviously to win.
Yeah, can you just put it down to sort of a one-off game that didn't go to plan tonight?
I don't like these kind of things. It's too early for that. So I will watch this game on Monday. Not we play now on Sunday, Crystal Palace, and but I know already that if we do a couple of things better, we will be better. So that's how it is. Easy. Can we win at Bergamo? Yes, if we play good, it's possible. Can we win 3-0? I have no idea, but that's not important in the moment. So really, we have now to recover, and it must feel really, really bad. It's important. We played a bad game, so there's nothing to say, here a little bit, there, but no. That was a bad performance, so, and that's how it is. And that's why we lost. And now it is always in this moment, Bergamo is practically through, and the closer the game comes, they realize they are not through yet, they have to play another game and we get another chance, we will see that. But playing like tonight, we don't have to think about a chance.
Yeah, what do you think the impact of the results will have on your squad?
Didn't have that now that often, so cannot really say, but we have to show a reaction immediately on Sunday, so that's much more important. It's not allowed. So now it must have impact. Now in this moment it must feel really bad, and the boys need to go home and sleep bad. That's how it is, and recover anyway. But then when we meet tomorrow, then we have to prepare Crystal Palace, and we will do that. We'll see who is able to play and who is not, these kind of things. But a lot of performances tonight were really, oops, wow, didn't know he can play like that. But this I know this can happen. So for that you need to create kind of a team movement on the pitch. That is not that the players, they look really alone in a lot of moments. So like, wow, get on the ball, oh, nobody's there to pass it to. If then we didn't find him, stuff like this. From a specific, it was really bad. But again, in the end, we had our biggest chances probably. Then finally didn't use them when Diogo came on. This bit more flexibility helped already, but he's not able to play now on Sunday again. Whatever 90 or whatever, is no chance. So yeah. No. I know that the boys can play better football, but I didn't do it tonight. So we have to show a reaction on Sunday, and I'm pretty sure we will do that.
Some really interesting reaction from Jurgen Klopp there. As you can see, James Horncastle has joined us. We'll get the Atalanta perspective in just a moment. But your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp's assessment there, Crouchy?
Yeah, honest. I think he, as he always is, it was incredibly disappointing performance from Liverpool. As he said there, was it oops, wow? In some of the performances, obviously you wouldn't want one of those. They will be debriefing it, I imagine, tomorrow. But like I say, he's got to pick them up. He'll have to have a reaction, and some of the big hitters, certainly that were on the bench tonight, will start again. They'll play 90 minutes, and I do expect a reaction on Sunday. Yeah,
well, he says that the more important thing now, Rachel, is that there is a reaction against Crystal Palace. The good news for Liverpool is they are back here at home for that game, so they can put it right straight away.
Yeah, and the fans will play an integral part in that as well. Jurgen's talked about feeding off the energy of the crowd, and they expected that tonight, but it's got to come from the pitch as well. So they need to see a huge reaction on the pitch, and that'll get the crowd behind them.
James, a shock for Liverpool, but wow, I mean, what a result for Atalanta.
Yeah, and they've normalised the extraordinary because they've had big results like this before. I mean, they've come here to Anfield and won in COVID when there weren't their own fans here. So I think that's why it's particularly special for tonight. But they've been to Amsterdam. They've beaten Ajax there. They came within seconds of knocking PSG out of the Champions League and reaching a Champions League semi-final. The only reason they didn't do that was because they'd used all their subs. They had an injury and they were down to 10 men. PSG scored twice in stoppage time. So there's a big vacancy here in the summer, and that guy, Gianpiero Gasperini, doesn't get talked about. Yeah, and over 8 years, he's probably punched above his weight
Should they
more than
consider
any
him
other
then?
coach.
Is that what you're suggesting?
I think he should be in the conversation for more of these jobs. I think with Gasperini, he was burnt in the past when he went to a big job, when he went to Inter, and Inter didn't back him. And at Atalanta, he knows he's onto a good thing. He's in his 60s. He knows the grass isn't greener on the other side. He's got a very good contract. He's incentivized to stay here. And, you know, but at the same time, we've spent the last month, 6 weeks, talking about Xabi Alonso coming here, Amorim coming here. This guy beat Amorim home and away, Sporting. Went 4 games against them, unbeaten. You know, so, and he's shown that he can build and rebuild teams. He's been there 8 years. 3 different teams now he's had here.
Before the game, you were telling us about some of the players to look out for in the team. But was there any genuine expectation that they'd come here tonight and win the way they did?
I think because people have their stereotypes about Italian football in terms of like teams that sit back, try and hit on the counter-attack. This is a very aggressive team. Crouchy, you were talking about how physical they were and how well built this team is to cope. I saw them winning a lot of the duels today. They play on the front foot, they're attacking, could have scored more than 3 goals. So within that context, yes, there was a feeling that they could do something, but it's still surprising. And
He's a great character, isn't he, as well, Gasperini?
he is. And, you know, I think I've just talked about him should be in the frame for more jobs. This is probably the most influential Italian coach of the last 15 years. Because if you look at Serie A at the moment and you look at the up-and-coming managers, they're all guys who played under him. All the young guys, Thiago Motta, Palladino, Ivan Juric, they all played under him. They all play his style. That back 3 that he kind of made fashionable again when he brought Genoa up in 2006, 2007, that's something that inspired Conte to change. Conte used to be a guy who played 4-4-2. So, you know, Gasperini's done a magnificent job.
That third goal, how much of a difference will that make to the approach that Gasperini takes in the home tie now? Will it make any difference at all?
I think they've got one way of playing.
Yeah.
And that's often been their downfall. You know, it's like, can you manage games better? Because they keep attacking. I think they showed maturity tonight in how they rode out somebody. I mean, we heard Klopp there talking about Darwin's chance at 1-1, at 1-0. Harvey Elliott as well hitting the crossbar. But I think, you know, he's just got this ability now, I think, where he's very comfortable with the players that he's got on this team. He's got some very smart guys playing. You know, there are old guys in this team. Martin de Roon, who's filling it at centre-back. That guy's
does an amazing
player.
job, him. He's done an amazing job for a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah, and so for me, I think this team has what it takes. And they were missing big players out tonight. He's rotated his goalkeeper. That's the number 1 goalkeeper. Canisecchi is. Scalvini, one of the most promising Italian centre-backs, not in the team tonight, injured. They lose Kolasinac late. Kolasinac was expected to play. So there's more to come from this team. And I think that will give them confidence in the second leg as well.
Yeah, that result will have definitely given them confidence. Let's take a look at how the bracket is looking in this road to Dublin now, because things have potentially really opened up for Atalanta on that side of the draw. A 3-0 victory for them here at Anfield tonight. 1 foot in the semi-finals. The other tie still in the balance, Benfica getting a 2-1 victory at home. And obviously they'll have to go to Marseille, which is a tough place to go for the second leg next week. The other side of the draw, Leverkusen do what Leverkusen do, and they've won again tonight against West Ham. An incredible 42 games unbeaten for Xabi Alonso's side. And Roma winning by 1-0 at Milan. How do you see it shaping up after the first leg results, James?
Well, I mean, people talk about Italian football. I'm going to focus on it. I mean, they're top of the coefficients right now. You know, people thought last year was a bit of a fluke. Instead, they'll get that 5th Champions League slot. I think they've wrapped that up. So definitely maybe an Italian in the final.
Any changes to what you said before the game, guys, on who's going to get there?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a banker for Liverpool to get to the final before the game, so that's very much changed. But Atalanta looked like they could get to a final, of course, and I think Bayer Leverkusen will be there with them.
Okay.
Evening, we'll have the usual post-match press conference. We'll follow that with a preview of the game on Sunday, which will be all content embargoed until 1 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have simultaneous translation for the first section as well, but not required for the second. Thank you.
Jurgen, first off, just your reaction to tonight's performance.
Oh, we can make this the shortest press conference of all time. It just was a really bad game. Oh my God. So we started well. really well, and then didn't continue. I think before they scored even, but we just lost the plot a little bit, like we were everywhere and nowhere. So midfield was spread like that. Right midfielder, left side, left midfielder, strike was whoop. I didn't recognize it. That was really strange. But so that be in football terms, that's tactical discipline. But anyhow, we had a big chance, I think, from Darwin, and then unlucky with Harvey. Then they scored a goal, and then we kept playing into their cards, to be honest, in the hands. So, and a really good example how it could have looked is the goal we scored, because that's, I think, striker wide, fullback underlap in a massive space, arrives the all time in the world, passed the ball, and most scores a goal. It was an offside, but that's one thing. But I don't know, we should have had these situations more often. We didn't use the man marking, besides that, I would say, a lot. Then Diogo came on, he's now, just to make sure, we cannot use him now just because we think now he's the solution for whatever. He needs time as well, but he came on and just no bad experience or whatever in the whole game or for weeks and months, so just happy to play, and you could see that changed a lot. We played a bad game, we deserved to lose, and we must feel that now, but the boys have exactly this night to feel bad about it, and then we have to build up again for the Crystal Palace game. So that's how it is, and nobody thinks the moment. I mean, you asked me probably about the game next Thursday, but there's Crystal Palace in between. So congratulations, Atalanta, really well done. That's it.
Can you just put your finger on why the team didn't click, why it didn't work tonight?
No, it's easy. Atalanta is causing as many teams problems with the way they defend. So, obviously. Maybe I'm wrong, but I cannot now remember a situation where they outplayed us. It's just they won the ball, and then they went from there. So it's a good idea. You need a lot of tactical discipline to do what they did. They played that man marking over the whole pitch, as Ederson pressing, whoever Curtis in our own box, stuff like that. So that was the reason why they won the game, because in these moments you just want to win the ball, and the reason and man marking is uncomfortable when you are not on top of your game. That's why so many teams meanwhile play it again, because if you are in a better playing mood than we were tonight, then you can cause massive problems, but we didn't. So that's the reason. They defended us, and we didn't try it long enough to play. So then we just suffered from the way they defended. That's pretty much the explanation. That's the one point.
Come on, Richard.
Yeah, hi Jurgen.
Hi.
You made several changes in the starting 11. You brought 3 of the regulars back on at half-time. I mean, with the benefit of hindsight, would you have started people like Salah and Robertson and Szoboszlai, or was it not possible?
Yeah, that's how it is. When you lose a game, then your changes are questionable. I get that 100%. For the reasons I did it, I would do it exactly the same way again. How's that? If we want to be good in the rest of the season, we have to make changes. We have to. I wouldn't. Who did we change? Harvey was all right. It was not Harvey. We didn't take off the 3 worst players. And I mean, that's probably what people make of it. That's how the boys looked at half-time. Nobody wants to. Curtis came back from injury. You could see good moments, and then again. So it was the most important training session he had now since he's back. 45 minutes, going over the point constantly. Harvey was all right. Costi, not a lot of rhythm. So then you think, okay, come on, give the game a chance. By the way, we lost the second half 2-0 in the first half 1-0. I don't know which one was now better. It's just how it is. That's absolutely fine. I am responsible for this result, first and foremost. I know that. But the decision, anyway, I would probably take the same.
Hence the disappointment from Van Dijk, the first home loss of the season for this Liverpool side in the middle of a very, very important stretch of games. Atalanta, they showed up today. Why were they able to be so effective and punish this Liverpool side, as Van Dijk pointed out?
When you look at where the goals came from, especially the first two, it was wide play. This 3-4-3 formation, as a wingback, it is a living nightmare to play against. When do you step out to put pressure? When do you stay at home? In the first half, Konstantinos Tsimikas had a nightmare of a performance. That's why he got yanked. Get out here, go hit the showers, is what Klopp said, because he did not bring the intensity. That was what was shocking in this game. One team, the team from Italia, brought the right intensity. Liverpool, they almost showed up as if they expected Atalanta to roll over and give them the result.
Liverpool are going to have a mountain to climb in that second leg coming up next week against Atalanta. You mentioned the manager, Jurgen Klopp. Let's hear what he had to say after this match. Tough week for Jurgen Klopp and this Liverpool side. That disappointing draw over the weekend in Premier League action against Man United. The 3-0 loss today against Atalanta in the middle of such an important stretch for this Liverpool side. How does Jurgen Klopp get this team back on track?
Well, you can't do what he did today. He got his lineup choices wrong. Mohamed Salah in a big match like this on the bench. Dominic Szoboszlai as well. I know fatigue is the thing, but this is a very fit Liverpool side that these are players that you need to get minutes week in, match in, and match out. The quality and the drop-off in quality was really there by some of the unsung heroes that have kept this side in big games. They didn't have that quality today. You have to go at how you start that second leg. And I just worry about Atalanta. Sometimes we see Italian teams, they rely so much on defending. If they sit back and just absorb pressure in the second leg, that plays to Liverpool's hands. If they stay on the front foot, all they need is one goal, and the tie's over.
Any team that's got Mo Salah's got a chance to really punish you. Speaking of quality today, though, Gianluca Scamacca was at another level. He scored a brace for Atalanta, his 5th goal in 5 games, and he spoke after the match. Take a listen.
Gianluca Scamacca, what a night for you. 2 goals. How would you describe it?
It's a fantastic night for us, for our fans that travel from Bergamo, and it was a fantastic match with one of the biggest teams in Europe.
You played Liverpool before as a West Ham player. Is it a revenge coming back and here and win 3-0?
No, it's not a revenge. It's a quarter final of Europa League. We come here for do our match, and nothing. Today we win, but we have to play another game next week. So it's next week is 0-0 for us.
Big day for Scamacca. He's been huge for Atalanta in Europa League.
I'm Derek Ray. I'm joined for commentary by former Arsenal fullback Lee Dixon. And without doubt, a match with the potential to bring genuine excitement. It's Luton Town taking on Chelsea.
Hi, Derek, thank you. Well, both managers will be reminding their players how important...
Well, it could be on for him here. Is it going to be? Keeper getting the touch. And it's gone behind for the corner. Over it comes. Well, did his job defensively. And they'll get ready for the throw-in. Pearson. So after that, a goal kick it'll be. Well, pick your adjective where Hakim Ziyech is concerned. Explosive, I think, might be an approach. Can they take the lead here? And mistimed the run, sadly. That's offside. Throw-ins given. This looks promising.
Well, it's the care and attention, all that work.
And a blunder by the keeper. Werner. Promising attack, but his timing was off. Well, they've lost possession of the ball. Nicely cut out. Oh, that's an interesting pass. Ziyech. In it goes. An early goal. No wonder they're celebrating.
Well, as we look at this again, the keeper's every right to ask where his back line was, but 2v1 in the end. He's thinking now, is he going to pass or go round me? He's got no chance.
Well, real difficulty keeping the ball. Ball's gone.